I'm Kat Kalashian for Live and Invest Overseas. And if you're looking to make any kind of real estate investment outside of the United States or Canada in 2025, where should you be looking? We at Live and Invest Overseas have been paying attention to this spot for decades. We have a lot of experience. We've been looking at this for a long, long time. And here is our top list of markets to pay attention to in 2025. Plus, one market that people are really overhyping in some of the 2025 investment lists. Stick around to the end of the video to find out which country it is that is a little bit overhyped right now. Number one on the top of our investment list is Mexico. In Mexico specifically, our focus is Mazatlan, which is on the western Pacific coast, and it's not been as overdeveloped as some other parts of Mexico. It has easy access from the United States, both for flying and for driving, and prices in this market are still reasonable, and the potential rental yields are robust, considering this is a pretty well-developed market, Mexico. Another Mexico market that holds up well is Playa del Carmen. This is on the opposite side. So this is the Atlantic or Caribbean side of the country, the eastern side of the country. The complication in Playa del Carmen is that you've got to find the right kind of property and the newest construction that's already away from the main center of action, meaning that you should look at resales more than pre-construction projects. But it also means that prices are a little bit more mature here. Prices will be higher. Still, the net yield possibilities can go over 8%, which is the upper end of our general advice for what to look for in rental yields, with a long-term target range between 5 and 8%. Panama, a place where I lived for many years and where our company is based. We have the inside track on Panama, and right now we know of a developer who is renovating a building that's currently a hotel, but they are turning in half the units, at least are turning into short-term rentals. The other half of the units the developer is actually keeping for himself and planning to rent out long-term. That's how confident he is in the rental prospects for this building in the future. Short-term rental projections here are in the 8% range. The hotel currently boasts 100% occupancy. However, if you have any understanding of the hotel business, you know that's just a little silly. Hotels can't run efficiently at 100% capacity. If you've got 100% capacity, it means you're charging too little for your rooms. This is where the developer sees the potential to improve things. So if you're interested in investing in a US dollar-based country, which Panama is, you should definitely take a look at some of the offers that we've got. Click on the details below for more information. Number 3 on our list is Montenegro. Montenegro has been actually on our real estate watch list for years, and we've specifically highlighted it in just the past couple of years. Recently, the rest of the world is catching on. Prices have increased a fair amount in the last 3 or 4 years, but they have a lot of room to continue to increase even within the zones that we're looking for investment profits. You have to buy right, of course. You have to be a little bit in the market, which is what we're here for at Live and Invest Overseas. Net rental yields in Montenegro, even with these higher prices, remain strong as long as you're getting in on the bottom floor of these investments. Between becoming a hotspot for wealthy people from Eastern Europe, Turkey, even Saudi Arabia, and being the next country in line to join the EU, Montenegro is a strong market and will continue to be so for quite some time. All right, so far I have covered half my list. We've talked about Mexico, Panama, and Montenegro and why they're so great for investment. What do you think about investing in any of these countries? Do you have experience? Are you thinking about it? Let us know in the comments below. Next, I'm going to talk about Portugal, Spain, and Greece, our remaining top investment countries, plus one mystery market that people in 2025 are really overhyping. If you want to be in the know, stick around to the end of this video to find out which country it is that isn't quite as much as everybody says it is. We've just opened registration for our 2025 International Property Summit, which is scheduled for this June 2025 in Panama City, Panama. A perfect storm of political, social, and financial conditions has led to the best time in our lifetimes to purchase or invest in property abroad. Whether you're considering a foreign property investment, a second home overseas, or both, I guarantee our International Property Summit will exceed your expectations. Investment and retirement income will be a key part of the 2025 International Property Summit. We're showcasing the best current property investment plays around the world, including properties that start at under $125,000, giving you access to exclusive offers, special discounts, discounts and financing that regular buyers won't have access to. And these investments are ones that will earn you instant equity and built-in equity. As soon as you purchase through us, thanks to the discount you secure through us, you have already made a profit on paper thanks to the difference with public pricing versus our exclusive pricing. You can expect net returns on investment of up to 10% annually. And these are yield-producing investments that will generate retirement income not just for you, but also for your heirs and building a legacy for your family. Right now, you can take advantage of our early bird discount. This is the deepest discount that we offer on any event, a whopping $300 off the cost of registration. This is a limited time offer and it won't be available to attendees who sign up in the coming weeks. So click the link on the screen to learn more about this event and take advantage of this massive exclusive discount before it ends. Our Live and Invest Overseas International Property Summit is your guide to the best deals, living the good life, and making a profit overseas. All right, let's talk about Portugal. We have called Portugal for over 10 years. We called Portugal the #1 retirement haven in the world. Many people are still touting Portugal as a great real estate investment destination. For living, it's fantastic. One of the best countries in Europe, one of the best countries in the world. For investing, on the other hand, it's becoming harder and harder to find the good deals. Anybody who got in when we started talking about Portugal 10 years ago made great returns on appreciation and all of the rentals that they were able to take advantage of in those interim years. Now, though, you have to do a little bit more legwork to find where the yields are going to really play out. You can still find those in the hot zones for those willing to put in the time on the ground, but the better priced properties are in those less traveled locations, which are therefore a little bit less interesting from a net yield perspective. The one thing Portugal definitely has going for it is that international buyers have expanded beyond being mostly British people, which they were for probably 100 years up until a couple decades ago. The downside is that development is focused on higher end properties for the international market. So that means your initial outlay, your capital outlay is going to be a little bit more than it would have been 10, 20, 30 years ago, even 5 years ago. There's really been little to no development in the last 10 years that targets the Portuguese market, which leaves a gap in inventory that has to be figured out. So we see this as the real sweet spot in Portugal right now. If you have any ins when it comes to local housing aimed at local residents, non-foreign residents, that's a really interesting place to be in the Portuguese market. All of that said, though, if Portugal is on your radar, you need to be on the ground in the market to be able to find a great opportunity. You're not going to be able to really do so from afar. Anything really worth investing right now will be snapped up really quickly if you're only casually paying attention. Next up on our list is Spain, which is currently our #1 retirement haven in the world. And as opposed to Portugal, Spain offers so many regions and opportunities that it's hard to narrow them down. You need to narrow them down, though, because like Portugal, lifestyle and investment are very different things here when it comes to purchasing real estate. So many places in Spain are great for lifestyle, but if you're looking for excellent yields, focus on areas that aren't overbuilt already and that attract a non-travel package type of tourist. That's easier said than done for much of Spain, especially on the southern coast. But our colleagues on the ground are suggesting the areas around Alicante and Cartagena. We really love the town of Estepona, not only because Leif Simon, co-founder of Live and Invest Overseas and our in-house real estate guru, made his first property purchase there at the age of 25, almost 25 years ago, and made the fortune that he built his life on in the future. He bought when it was on the path of progress, which of course it is much further along that path now, but still definitely a place to look. Currently, though, the best opportunities can be found based on referrals and contacts on the ground. You need to go in person. You need to be there on the ground to find a really good investment opportunity. Finally, on our list is Greece, which has appeared on many investment real estate lists for 2025, including ours, obviously. Prices in Greece remain very affordable compared to other Mediterranean options, but again, you need to look outside of the traditional hotspots. Crete will be our focus in 2025, and we're currently speaking with a developer who has several options on the island. So if you are interested in Crete, I recommend you click on one of those links in our description below to get more information about real estate in Greece. The smaller islands of Greece are a little bit scary to invest in due to prices and potable water concerns in general for small islands. So it's definitely another place where you want to be in the know, you want to have some local contacts, you don't want to just snap up any property that seems like a good deal because you don't know, maybe your only neighbors are going to be sheep. There are a lot of uninhabited islands in Greece. So don't just take any beautiful beachfront property that you see on a website. Definitely get your own feet on the ground, take a look at it in person, or hire someone to do that for you in person and make sure that you know what you're getting. On the mainland, on the other hand, everybody's focusing on Thessaloniki, which is Greece's second largest city and also holds some current opportunities. Finally, that mystery country that I've been teasing that appears in so many real estate investment opportunity lists, both for 2024 and 2025. And for 2024, we actually were focusing on Turkey. Many lists, as I say, include Turkey. But our founding publisher, Kathleen Petticord, and her husband, Leif Simon, who I mentioned, he's our co-founder, and he is our in-house real estate and investment expert. And he owns properties in more than a dozen countries at any given time, all over the world. He has a huge amount of experience with buying, selling, renting, flipping, everything you can do with real estate in whatever country in the world. He's done it. And they took a road trip to Turkey to investigate these new opportunities in August 2024. They drove through the so-called Riviera region, the Turkish Riviera, from Izmir to Bodrum to Antalya, looking at the properties, the prices, and the towns along the way. Their expert take on this region was that prices are high, especially compared to similar properties and settings in the Western Mediterranean, and the quality is only so-so. It's only okay. The yields can be strong, but the economic risks in Turkey outweigh our interest in pursuing our research further. So although it was on our list for 2024 and we did pursue that, we have struck it for 2025, realizing that there are viable real estate opportunities, but from our perspective right now, other options are easier to figure out and less risky at the moment. So there you have it. Those are our top real estate markets for 2025. Wherever you choose to focus in 2025, don't go too far afield from your comfort zone. Great investments can be found in many markets. You don't need to go so far outside your comfort zone if you don't want to, if you're not ready for that. And you don't need to get too exotic unless it's someplace you're interested in spending more time in. So if you know that you want to live in Turkey, then definitely that's a viable option for real estate opportunities. But if you have no interest outside of the pure investment side of things, there are definitely easier ways to go. Are you looking to invest overseas this year? Are you looking at buying real estate in 2025? Where are you looking? What are your markets of interest outside of the US and Canada? Do any of our top spots appear on your hit list for 2025? Please let us know in the comments. We'd be happy to hear from you, and happy trails.